Gemini, this is your bonus reading, and I hope you're ready because the information that's coming through is pretty intense, pretty deep. This may not be for everyone, or perhaps this is not the time for everybody to watch this reading. So just a fair warning. I'm just going to turn this down a little bit. Just a fair warning that we 444 on the clock, that we might be discussing some things that could be related to a wound or related to something that feels uncomfortable and difficult, but this is the message that Spirit's coming through with. So somebody needs to hear this message, and I always deliver messages for the highest good of all. So this is for your spiritual growth and development, for your soul. So take it or leave it, do whatever you'd like. I'm going to talk to you first about the messages that I got here from Spirit before I started with the cards, and then I'll show you the oracle cards I got, and then we'll get into the tarot. I'll put all the cards that I'm using in the description box below for your reference. So Gemini, first, the number 29 came through, and I'm hearing the letter S. Maybe that's linked to the 20, maybe September 29th could be an important date for someone. Something about October 3rd or 11th could also be coming through. Whoa, I'm getting all these dates now. February 26th. These are very specific. I don't know, maybe you want to write these down. They could be coming up for you as something important, or perhaps it's an event in the past or someone's birthday, or I don't know. I'm also getting 1, 2, 3, 4. So Gemini, the first thing that I saw with you was a lynx. And I looked up the meaning of a lynx, and what came up over and over again is that a lynx is linked to the idea of exposing secrets. But when the lynx came up for me, I heard oceans away. So it feels like there's some energy that is a little bit removed from you and your current experience. Okay, it feels like this energy of exposing a secret is kind of oceans away. So it could be something in the past, far past, it could be something in the far future, or perhaps whoever this is related to is far from you. There's a big distance between the two of you, between you and whoever's kept secrets from you. And these don't have to, well, these could be any kinds of secrets. But I'm getting for a lot of you, these could be familial secrets. And they don't have to be malicious secrets, but there's things hidden here. And the ocean represents creativity, intuition, but also the subconscious. So when I'm getting oceans away, it feels like there's a lot of things buried in somebody's subconscious, or buried deep beneath the surface of a relationship. It's like there's a lot of things that have yet to be said or have gone unsaid due to fear and an inability to cope on some level. 333. I'm not sure what it feels family oriented, but it could be about love. It could be about career. It could be you with yourself. It could be you with another dimensional self, okay, that's existing in the future. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be for everyone, but it feels very specific and a little touchy as well, a little touchy. So I also got that there's it's water under the bridge. And then I got forget-me-not. I think that's a flower, isn't it? I think so. Like a little purple flower, is it? I think it is. But there's something here. It's like somebody has forgiven somebody. Okay, it's water under the bridge. Not that it doesn't matter, but it's no longer taking up a lot of your energy, their energy. Or maybe this is your guide saying something's water under the bridge, like you no longer have to be beholden to an experience here or somebody else's energy. But there is something about this person or situation in which you had a little bit of conflict with that is now being resolved somehow, cosmically, maybe energetically, or actually, they would like you not to forget them. Okay, this could even be someone who passed that you had an issue with. Now, I got also an image of a coin toss. Something is currently under review, Gemini, and being decided. I also got far east, the direction far east. And then this came earlier today, which was you need to laugh. You haven't been laughing enough, or people love to see you laugh. People are surprised when you laugh. And there's something magical, magnetic, enchanting about your laughter. It brings this lightness into your aura that is very attractive and very, it carries a certain level of intelligence with it as well. So you may feel like, oh, I have to be serious and not silly, or, I have to act a certain way for others to perceive me as intelligent or smart or on the ball. But Spirit's saying it's actually your laughter and your ability to ease into a situation and go with the flow and not take things too serious that others perceive as intelligence in you. It's an emotional intelligence that they see, even if they don't realize that that's what they're seeing. It's like, oh, Gemini's smart, but it's because they subconsciously maybe realize that you're emotionally intelligent, you're emotionally attuned, you're not bothered by the mundane, or you can laugh at yourself or laugh at a situation, or perhaps you can just laugh when it feels good to laugh, where others hold themselves back. So I got be wary of the too serious. So if there's clowns, I'm hearing, interesting. If there's clowns around you who are being too serious, interesting, because clowns are supposed to make you laugh, right? But they can also be scary for some. Interesting. Okay, hold on. There's something there. Clowns are supposed to make you laugh. Supposed to make children laugh, but often their sacredness, interesting, their sacredness is twisted into fear so that you fear the laughter. Did you follow that? I don't know if I did. Well, let's just put an arrow to fear from laughter. So yeah, so maybe somebody's trying to get you to be or trying to induce some kind of fear in you when you should actually laugh about a situation. Hope that makes sense. I feel like there's more there. Maybe it will come out in the reading, or maybe it's like that's a little tip off for someone, or you can think about that some more. I feel like purple for sure with the forget-me-not and this amethyst really catching my eye is significant to you. I also got this oracle card, Temple of Love. Now, here's where the deeper, more serious part of the message comes in, but we're not going to be too serious, right? So perhaps this is kind of like a meta message as well, that when we talk about difficult topics that make us feel uncomfortable, we should bring a lightness into it, and it's okay to laugh throughout the pain in the process. It doesn't mean that the severity and the depth are forgotten. Forget me not. Interesting. Okay, so the other oracle card I got is stories from my mother. Stories of my mother, it actually says, but I said from. Okay, maybe you've heard some stories from your mother. There's stories about your mother. And then your supportive energy is fire. And are you ready for it? Your challenging energy is the shadow. Okay. So right away, what I'm getting from this, Gemini, is that Spirit wants to talk to you about love, how you love yourself, your relationships, your love relationships, whether it's platonic or romantic, and how they have been influenced by, conditioned by, affected by, for good or for bad, by your mother, by her own experience, or the stories that you've heard about her from others, or maybe even from herself, her own stories. And with the shadow card coming out, Spirit's letting me know that you may be carrying a piece of your mother's shadow for her without knowing. That's impacting your love life or the way you perceive love in general. And so this can get uncomfortable, getting into this kind of work, which is shadow work. But Spirit is saying that you're ready for it, you can do this, and it will really help you. And you have the energy now. So you recently went through something where you didn't have a lot of energy, or maybe you were just physically just feeling tired. But now a new cycle is coming. I feel like this has to do with the new moon. It's coming in and your energy is increasing. And you're able to really handle multiple things at once. It's like in the next 30 to 60 days. And so it's a good time to dabble, dip into, or go deep, depending on what you want to do, into this idea of how your mother's shadow, when it comes to love, has affected you. So I'm going to ask what your mother's shadow was, but I might not get a clear answer because, it could be unique and different for each of you, but I want to get some kind of idea about what it is that you're holding or carrying, what has affected you in the way that you look at love or the way that you experience love. And again, this could be love for yourself. For some of you, there's some kind of body image issues or lack of self-love that your mom had, and maybe these are the secrets. Maybe you're not even aware of it. Not fully, or it hasn't been discussed. Your mom never told you about the things that were going on that were in her shadow, or maybe she didn't even know herself, right? Oceans away, the subconscious. So these could be the secrets. So let me see here. And it kind of makes sense that this reading would come up for you right now because we are under the Cancer new moon, and Cancer is all about mother energy. Okay, so it's a good time to really be conscious and aware of your relationship with your mom, regardless of if she's here, if she's passed, if you don't have any relationship with her, just the archetype of mom, how you embody mother energy if you do. Okay, so all of those kinds of questions and thoughts are good to contemplate right now because there's support for it. And there's information to be gleaned as well. So let me see here. What should I ask? Well, let me see the story of the collective's mother as general as we can. The unknown. Okay, so yeah, the wilds. So there's something definitely secret, unknown. I'm really struck by this image. It looks like a boardwalk going down to a beach. Maybe this is significant for someone. How can I approach this, Spirit? How can I approach this? Give me 1 second. Okay, let's begin with you. Tell me about the collective's energy in relation to what's been said so far. Protection and blue moon. Oh, beautiful. This is a unique opportunity in this current energy whenever you're watching this reading for you to protect yourself from some kind of influence that's in the shadow. Okay, so I feel like the protection for you comes from an awareness. We're speaking so abstractly, I feel. So let me ground it a little bit, Spirit. Maybe you're wondering here, like, what's up with so-and-so and our relationship, or what happened back there in our relationship, or will I ever find love, or why can't I make friends, or, questions about love. And it's like Spirit's pointing you far east. Interesting. East is a direction that's often associated with enlightenment. It's like Spirit is pointing you in the direction of your mother and thinking about your mom, your mother, however you want to say it for you, your mama, okay, whatever you want to say. There's that laughter, good. Spirit's pointing in the direction of your mother for you to answer some of these questions for yourself. This is what will lead you to enlightenment. It's like you're going to have a deeper understanding of why you choose the partners you do, why you are the way you are, the way you approach motherhood or fatherhood, or maybe the woman that you're with is a mother. You know, like there's lots here for you to unpack. And I feel like this whole reading is just giving you a little bit of like a scaffolding, or like a little bit of a direction for you to do some more work if that's what you've been wanting to do. Or if you feel like you can't get your answers of like, why am I like this? Or why do I keep picking these people? Or why am I in this relationship, but like I'm wanting more, but I can't get myself out? You know, all that kind of stuff that happens, right? That comes up to our mind and into our heart when we're dealing with difficulties. Spirit says, look towards the east, towards your mother. Okay, because there's something untapped here, untapped information that could help you, could help protect you in the future when it comes to experiencing love. So let's see if we can get into the shadow a little bit more. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. I got holding space and the defender. Make room for the magic to happen by clearing out any doubts from your mind. I feel like Spirit's saying here, make space. What? Yeah, but this is actually like you're holding space for your mom's shadow. You know what I'm saying? It's like what I said in the beginning. You're carrying, you're holding space for it, which can be a beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes when you're conscious that you're holding space for somebody's shadow, it can come from compassion, empathy, love, care, wisdom. But when you're not conscious that you're holding space for someone's shadow, you can mistake it as your own, or maybe it becomes your own shadow. And you begin defending things that you ought not to. So what is it? Let's just go into the tarot for a second. What is it that collective is defending? Some of you had... Okay, hold on. Okay, so wait, hold on. Before I say that, what is it that you want collective to see about this? Whoa. We have the witch at the bottom, which is the high priestess. Yes, there's definitely secrets here. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, Death, the Hermit, and the Empress. So give me a second here because this is pretty big. A lot of you had, and you know, this is a common experience, so you know, it makes sense, but Spirit's bringing it out here. A lot of you had the experience of a single mother, or if your mother wasn't single, she did a lot of the work, okay? Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles, this speaks about, you know, taking care of things by yourself, having to be independent, having to be secure, having to do everything on your own here. And it doesn't have to be financially. It could just be like taking care of people's emotional needs. Any sort of caretaking that was done alone, and it's like your mom was really independent in some way, okay? She had to be independent in some way. Did she have to be? Wait, let me just check. Did she have to be? Whoa, too many cards. Did she have to be independent? Like, what's up? Curiosity of water. That's the Page of Cups. And the Five of Wands. Yeah, I feel like there was this is so specific. I feel like there was some conflict here around how to take care of you, or about just the dynamics of the family. Now, I'm sure there's a lot more to be said and a lot more went on for you, but I was asking, what is it that you need to know about this, and why is this in the shadow? And Spirit gave me Death, the Hermit, and the Empress, which is called the life giver here, which is the Mother card. And Spirit is saying that you witnessed your mom take a strong role to try to do things by herself. Now, I'm not saying she was a saint. There could be a lot of conflict between you and your mom here with the Five of Wands coming out. But there's something about her, like determination or her drive or something like this, or feeling lonely. Let me see the feelings here. The Chariot, the Professor, which is the Hierophant, and the Ten of Cups. There was some kind of restriction, okay, to fulfilling like a happy life or having a community. It could have been that she defied common conventions of motherhood, or that she felt confined within them. There was also some kind of narrative given to her at some point, like if you do things this way, you'll achieve happiness. Three of Swords, and that wasn't possible. The Fool. Okay, there's maybe some naive energy here a little bit. Like, that's not to insult anybody's mom, okay? But like, there's a little bit of like, well, if I keep doing it this way, then everything will be okay, or this is the way it's meant to be. And what you're carrying in regards to all this is this like heavy determination to transform your life and have a different outcome for yourself when it comes to love than what your mom did. But well, with the Hermit, I'm seeing you often turn inward. Okay, again, if this is not your message, just don't take it. Okay, just don't. I know it's super specific. It's a bonus though, so you'll get another reading soon. But it's like you with the Hermit, it's like you tend to turn inward at times. Okay, you tend to seclude yourself, or you're a little bit of a recluse, or maybe you just emotionally shut down. You don't share. Maybe it doesn't feel safe to laugh. Okay, maybe there was a lack of laughter in your home growing up. And I feel like now's the moment to be aware of like the impact all of this family dynamic or your childhood situation had on you. Some of you, like this is obviously very specific, but the Death card can actually mean death at times. And this could be you've lost your mother, okay? And you've kind of what do I want to say here? Well, it's affected your passion for life and your manifestation, so maybe this is a recent loss, okay? But there's something about Spirit wanting you to have freedom from this feeling of carrying this weight or carrying the grief to such an extent where you don't see the open door for yourself to go through. Now I'm also seeing this here, the unknown and the open door, and Spirit wants to say, like, there is a different path for you. And you've done the best that you can do with the tools that you've been given. But it's time to kind of like remother yourself in a way. It's time to, let's see, it's time to what for Gemini? Yeah, it's time to let go of the shadows that you've been carrying here. So sometimes when we just recognize how we've been conditioned, or wow, I am really repeating my mom's story, or yeah, she's like that, and now I could see how I'm also like that too. You know, when we make those connections and we have those realizations, that can be just enough to help break the chain, you know, and get us to break the karmic cycle and recognize that we have a different path that we could take. Because I'm getting the Eight of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Three of Wands. This is Spirit saying, like, it's time to kind of leave this old story behind. It's like some kind of fierce independence gone wrong. It's the best way I can say it. And somehow you're carrying that in some way. Okay? And Spirit wants you to acknowledge the ties between you and your ancestry and your bloodline and your family and what's happened and how it's affected you, and then sever them, which doesn't mean you don't have to be compassionate or empathetic to your mom's situation, but it's not your situation. Okay? So be careful of repeating a cycle is ultimately the message here. We have the Queen of Cups and the Six of Cups. Be careful of repeating a situation. And also, if you are a mother or father, be careful of passing the cycle down. You know, now's the time to really break it. And I know, like, what this cycle is a little bit nebulous in this reading, but I feel like that's because it's really specific for each of you. But what Spirit has showed me in the cards is that you're, like, the mom figure in your life, really focused on herself. And there's a certain level of like loneliness in it. And she could have focused on herself to help the family, but there's still like some kind of disconnect here. And conflict that ensued. Can I get one more here? Based on her experience, you know, the conflict was coming from what she had experienced. Nature spirits and lucky. Divine feminine. I feel like you have actually been brought to past life growth. Yes, you've been brought to break the cycle. You've been brought here, sorry, to break the cycle. And I feel like you are so much more guided and intuitive and connected than your mom was, which isn't to say she wasn't, but it's like enhanced in you. Like you have a deeper cosmic relationship to Spirit. And this is what's allowing you, out of all people, to break the cycle. Good fortune. And change the karmic turn of events. So yeah, I feel like this message is Spirit asking you to introspect, consider, be kind to yourself, and recognize a pattern that's been going on. And once you recognize that, begin to unfold it and create a shift for yourself. I'm going to pull one more oracle card for you, Gemini. I'm not going to do an extended for this reading since it was just a bonus. But I hope this helped. Interesting. I don't know how to say this, but I'll read it to you. This card, every time I shuffle this deck, it seems to appear in one way or another. So it says, chains have tied you to an illusory hierarchical system. You unveil it and discover those powerful puppets are just embodying an old story. Accepting that the masses have shaped the world, you recreate and regenerate yourself from the very origin of your existence. For you are the world itself. It says, you clean the doors of your perception, and your magnetic field appears that surrounds the earth, the individual, and the atom, a symbol of your own energy. You are vital energy. You are the galaxies. You are an infinite circle spiraling into the center. You transmute fears by observing them face to face and acknowledging the pure being that lives within you. Do not banish fear, for it is useful. Banish cowardice. Heroes fear, but they fight. Yeah, so this is about looking some kind of fear in the face here. And definitely transmuting some energies related to the shadow and the mother archetype figure in your life, so that you can grow out of a limiting cycle. Okay, Gemini, this was a little bit of a tricky reading, but I truly hope it helped. Maybe it just confirmed something to you, or just gave you a little bit of a prompt to journal or to think about something. But I'm just going to trust that this is what you need to know. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.